Okay, in this video we're going to learn how to grab data from the database using select. In the last video we connected to the database. Just to show you one more time, we have our code here, and if we go, where are we at? There we go. Come back up here, and if you refresh, we're connected to the database. So at this point, what we can do is erase this, because we don't really need it anymore and we don't need it to output to the screen. So let's just save that, knowing that this code works. So now what we're going to do is go to select, and in this file I need to include the file that connects me to the database, and so that's using the include and then connect.php. So let's go ahead and start grabbing some data. Okay, first thing is we're going to have to query. So we got query equals MySQL query, and then in these parentheses I'm going to, this is the code now that grabs the data. We're going to select, and for right now I'm going to use this star, which stands for everything. So select everything from, and then you need to tell, well, what database are we grabbing stuff from. So tutorials, and then the table is users, I believe. Okay, so tutorials, the database, dot, and then the table. And that's all I'm going to put right now. Okay, so right now it's holding all that information. All right, next, what I'm going to do is while, and say row equals MySQL fetch a sock, and then type in your query. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to run through all the information row by row. Before I actually do that, let's go to the database. Okay, refresh this. All right, notice that it doesn't show up anymore. Right, in the database, or in the table, remember we have ID, first name, last name, email. If we go to browse, I've already put in a few different names, so I have 3 entries right now. So what I've just done is I've grabbed data from the database, and there are 3 rows. This is what's going to put it into each row, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to type, well, let's just echo out the information. So row, and then in these brackets we're going to type the first name, and then let's do dot, okay, do that, and then do the last name, and do it one more time, and then with the email. So row, email. Okay, and then let's do a break tag. So it goes to the next row, and that should actually enter out 3 rows that have the information from my 3 entries. So we got Brian, Johnny, and another Brian here. So let's see what happens. So let's save that. Let's go back, and instead of connect, we're going to do, don't have it there, so select PHP. Okay, so what it did is it grabbed all 3 rows, because I just said grab all the data. I didn't give it any other conditions. So we have Brian Veach, Johnny McJones, and Brian Smith. Here are their emails. So it worked out just fine. So now when you do a select, you can select everything, but if you have hundreds of like first name, last name, and just tons of these things, you're not going to want to select everything. You might just want to select, say, the first name. So you're going to do first name, and this symbol here, now if you have a PC, it's not a single quote, it's the button next to the 1, to the left of the 1. Okay. So let's select the first name from tutorials.users. So it's going to just select all the first names. Now just to show you what happens, I'm not going to take out this information right here. And just to show you what happens. So let's refresh, and you're going to get a lot of errors. And it says undefined index, last name, email, and that's because you selected only the information from the first name, or the only information you took was the first name. So it has no idea what this is. So this is a variable that doesn't contain anything. And so it's confused. So it's going to give you a bunch of errors. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to let's just do this. Okay, and then comment that part out. Okay. So let's see what happens. So it should just give me the three first names. Okay, so we have Brian, Johnny, and Brian. What is going on here? Oh, I guess it didn't comment itself out, huh? Okay. Oh, I see. I see. All right. See, I have here the single quote. Okay, don't do that. So let's take that back. We put the commenting. There we go. So now I commented that out. See? All worked out. Now if I refresh, there we go, Brian, Johnny, Brian. Now I didn't put any spaces or I didn't format that or anything, but it worked. So it selected the first name. Now what if I wanted to select the first name and last name? You would put comma and then the last name. Oops. From tutorials.users, and now instead of commenting out the last name and email, I'm just going to comment out the email. So okay, so now here let me add that break tag in. Okay, so it's going to enter the first name, or it's going to output the first name and then last name, and then it's going to have the break tag. So it's going to go on to the next row. So let's save that. Refresh. There we go. So Brian Veach, Johnny McJones, Brian Smith. Okay. So now what if you didn't want to grab all the rows? Let's say I just wanted to look for let's say we just want to look for Johnny. Okay, so if we wanted to just look for Johnny, what you would do over here is after you say what table you want, you'd say where first name equals, and then in single quotes what you're looking for, and for us it's Johnny. So now when we query this, it's going to find all the rows that have a first name of Johnny. Now for us it's only one row. So let's see if that's what happened. Let's refresh. So Johnny McJones. So it only outputted the one row because that's all we grabbed from the table. Let's say we wanted not just Johnny, but let's do Brian. Okay, and I think let's do that. Brian. So save and refresh. Oh, something is wrong. All right, let's go back. Oh, I see it. Do not have that single quote after Brian. Okay. So let's save, and let's go back and do this one more time. So refresh. So Brian Veach and Brian Smith. So it outputted the two rows that I wanted. Okay, what else can you do? Well, you can ask for the first name, last name. I'm just going to select everything. Now let's say I wanted to look for when first name equals Brian, and let's do order by. So this is the next thing, order by. Now what this is going to do is it's a way to sort the rows. So let's say I want to sort this by ID ascending, meaning start with the lowest number and you go up. So save that. Now before doing this, I just want to go in here. ID Brian Veach, ID1 is Brian Veach, ID3 is Brian Smith. So Brian Veach should go first and Smith should go second. All right, so let's refresh. Nothing's changed because that's exactly what was supposed to happen. Well, what if I wanted to order by, instead of ID, last name, which means Smith should come first and then Veach comes second. Okay, so if we refresh, does that happen? It does. So Brian Smith first, Brian Veach second. You can change this to descending, so that would be DSC, which means that Veach should go first and then Smith. So let's just see if that happens. Did it? Not again. Okay, let's go back. What did we do? Oops. Okay, so not DESC. So let's save that. So again, I'm ordering by last name descending, which means Veach should come first. So is that what happens? Veach first, Smith second. Okay. Now the last thing I just wanted to go over is that you can order by last name. Well, you can order by any of those fields: last name, first name, email, password. I don't know why you do password. Okay, but you can also do or limit. So where first name equals Brian, limit, and you could say is however many rows you want to go up to. So let's say um, these were posts or comments on a website. You know, you don't want to, if you have 100 posts, you don't want to display all 100. You might just want to display 10. Here, let's just display 1. So it's going to find all the rows with first name of Brian, but I'm going to display only one of them. So let's see what happens. All right, so we displayed Brian Veach, and that's only because it went, wasn't ordered by anything, so it just took the first Brian that it found, which was Brian Veach. Okay, and you can do this. You can say limit 1. You can order by, let's do last name, ascending, which means it would grab Smith before Veach. So does that happen? Yes. So these are all the different things you can do with select. So select everything, that star is everything, and then you can do individual things as well. Just something like this, first name. Make sure you put commas between these. So last name. Don't put a comma after your last field. If you did, you're going to get an error. So just erase that. Okay, so that's it for select.